we have seen the classification of input-output functions. The first category was formatted I/O. The second category is character or string I/O, and the third category is direct I/O. We have studied the library functions under first and second category. Now let us see the third category, that is direct I/O. Under this category there are two functions, fread and fwrite. Let us study the function fwrite. So in this program we have declare a stream, namely fp. After that we have declare two float type of variables, namely a and b. After that we have initialized them with the values this one and this one. Now the next step, that is the function fopen. Observe carefully. Here the file name is pf2.c. I want to open this file, but the mode is different. The mode is write binary mode, WB. W stand for write, B stand for binary. So I open the file in a binary mode for writing. Which file? pf2.c. So fopen function will create a stream, then associate that stream with pf2.c file, and after that return that stream. That stream we assign to the stream fp. Now fp is our stream. We will do the input-output operations on fp. Let us study the fwrite function. How to use fwrite function. Now see the help of fwrite function. Press Ctrl F1. So first argument is constant void star ptr. What is that? That is the address of first variable. So which variable we want to write? Values of a and b we want to write to the file pf2.c. So I have supplied the address of a as a first argument to the function fwrite. Now see the second argument, that is size t size. So using size of operator we have specified the size of variable a. Is it clear? Well, now see the next step. The third argument is size tn. This shows how many variables of float types you are writing to this file. Only one variable, and that is why I have written 1 over here. And the last argument is file star fp, that is nothing but a stream. So which stream you are using? fp. Is it clear? So first write statement writes the first fwrite statement writes the variable a, content of variable a, to the file pf2.c, and similarly second fwrite statement writes the content of variable b, that is 2.123456, to the stream fp. Is it clear? Now let us see. Just press Ctrl F9. So program is executed. Now open the file pf2.c to see the content. See, we cannot watch the content. We cannot watch the values inside the pf2.c because we have stored the values of a and b using binary mode. Is it clear? We have opened the file for writing in a binary mode, and that is why values are stored inside the pf2.c in a binary notation. That is exactly the internal notation of a and b. You see, if you store the value 1.123456 using text file, then how many characters will be required? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 characters are required to store the content of a in a text mode. Similarly, 8 characters are required to store the content of b in a text mode. But in binary mode, this is the float value and the size of float is 4 byte. Hence 4 bytes are required to store variable A and 4 bytes are required to store variable B. So total 8 bytes are required to store the variables A and B to the file pf2.c. If you want to confirm it, just go to the DOS-PROM and see the size of this file pf2.c. What is size? pf2.c size is 8 byte. If you store the content of A and B using text mode, then number of bytes requirement is more than this. Here only 8 bytes are required. If you use text mode, then in that case maybe the number of bytes required are, say, how many digits are over here? 3 plus 3 6 plus 1 7 8. 8 plus 8 16. So more than 16 bytes are required to store content of A and B in a text mode. Is it clear? So remember that if you want to save the memory, then store the file in binary mode. But what is the problem in binary mode? You cannot see using type command the content of that file, or using editor you cannot watch the content of that file. Is it clear?